No, I don't know how to pronounce your the other name, so I will avoid it for now.
No, no,
So
it's
thank
simple.
you.
It's Reese.
Okay.
Reese.
Reese, you are going to tell us
Reese.
about that because I've never seen that kind of name before. But we'll
Okay.
get to that. We'll get
We'll
to that.
get to
So
it.
you're welcome to this podcast session. So I always say that there's only one way to be on this podcast. You have to be recommended. And I think it is a huge privilege because if you are recommended, that means you are doing something very substantial to people and to your community. So it is a great privilege to have you on this show. You are welcome, Mrs. Bimbo. I've done a little bit of research about you, so you can't give me
Okay.
anything short of the research. No, 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 we are not going to release this video. So to get
Thank you.
started,
Thank you for having
you're
me. I
welcome.
feel very honored to be here.
Thank you
Thank
so much. And thank you for blessing me with your beauty. So I used to put out a disclaimer that my wife said, all the people I've been having on my podcast, they are always beautiful. That is there something about it? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you're going to do me a favor for those living under the rock, like I used to say. Give us a bit of introduction about yourself, what we will not have guessed about you. Please shoot.
Thank you. So my name is Bimbo Reis, as you have said earlier. I'm a Nigerian first. I also am married with three wonderful kids.
Awesome.
I graduated from University of Lagos. I studied economics, and my intention was to. I think most of us then, well, let me speak for myself, wanted to work with the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Exactly. If
that was
only
that
we
was
could.
that was the intention. I grew up in Lagos, um, in several places, but some where I grew up in Lagos Island with my grand aunts, and it was not totally for, let's say, my formative years. And I think it was pivotal in a lot of things that I and who I have become today, I would say. Um, yes, the name Reese, let's touch on it a little bit, is my name by marriage. And it's a Portuguese name, it means royalty.
I
And
guess as much.
and we are from Lagos by virtue of that, from Poku Aguda. That's what they call us. So it's a part of Lagos State that is recognized for people that are elitists, that are educated by virtue of,
Wow.
okay, slavery, and being brought back to Nigeria, and as a
Wow.
result of that, being educated. So from my husband's lineage, you have five generations of literates.
Oh,
So literates, people that can read and write. So
wow.
you go back as great 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 grandfather could read and write. So that's the beauty of it, and it has impacted the lifestyle and the way they see themselves, and myself inclusive. So that's a
Awesome.
bit about me. I work in a financial technology company, and it's an interesting sector. It's an interesting industry. I also have stints here and there doing different things, but more recently, should I say, should I call that recent? In the past, maybe 6 years, 7 years
Okay.
counting, I also delve into the space of fashion,
Wow.
precisely ready to wear fashion, and the name is called
Awesome.
Silk Tag. Yeah, so we do ready to wear for females, and hopefully would pivot into other genders and maybe children. So, but that's
Yeah.
what we do at the moment, and that's so much about me.
Awesome. Awesome. So the way you talk, you seem like a very truth person. Well,
Sorry,
we
say that
we
again.
in a way, as I said, the way you talk, you seem like a very truth person. So
I'm not
we
touched too. I'm not touched. Forget it.
so I want us to get to that other part that is not true, because I understand that when it comes to business, you need to have a kind of street aspect of you that pushes, that is very rugged and pushes, the business. How
Hmm.
how how do you, so let's say, can you speak to that? How do you run business with tenacity? Because when I check your Instagram account, I see that you are very, to an extent, you're very consistent, reading books, doing reviews and all that.
Okay, so first of all, I call it I'm a mixed breed. I'm not touched. I told you earlier
Okay,
on that I grew up in Lagos Island, so that goes to tell you a lot. I'm not touched in any way.
exactly.
But you see, the way it is that we evolve over time,
Yeah,
and maybe I'm not totally on that spectrum, but basically, it's just that I have a good experience of what it means to be on the street, what it means to be in an environment that is not Banana Islandy and all of that. But also, I also have the privilege of having a family that also caters to ensuring that you have good parenting, you
yeah,
you have good mannerisms and behavior regardless of the
yeah,
environment you find yourself. So a little bit of mix and match of that. So going into the business world, I think what is most important is ability to communicate. And
yeah,
communication is not just English, is being able to understand your audience and being
yeah.
able to speak to them in such a way that they understand you. So I get to meetings, I do presentation, and in the middle of the presentation, I get carried away and I kind of speak Yoruba and then I do my translation.
Wow.
Because when I feel the punch and I need to, drive a point home, especially in the face of the audience that I'm speaking to, I
Yeah,
will go to that length. And if I have to switch to Pidgin English, switch to Yoruba, and say the way they would understand it, as long as I get the message across, I think
yeah.
it's important to be able to. So you'll see me, I think I went for a presentation where I was talking about cybersecurity,
Okay,
which is one of the pains of my industry. And I was trying to elicit the fact that um, there's a way you would apprehend these people
yeah,
without going through the route that we are using nowadays, because our route is
yeah.
not quite well, as at that time a lot of work has gone into that already. Is not quite cutting it for us, like and then I said olelo mwese oleto, and I said that and I had to translate that it takes a thief to be able to apprehend a thief, and that we should have the mindset of these guys when we are working with them, not just
True,
think sit on
true.
our own in our own offices and think that when they take the money they will do this, they will do that. We have to step into their shoes and think like them,
Yeah,
to be able to
true.
say, okay, these are the means we are going to use to work against these people because they are consistently there. They are our
Yeah,
they are our worst enemies and worst nightmares. So it depends on where you find yourself. You cannot be in a bus or at a bus stop and somebody is speaking to you in a certain way and you are saying things in a different way. Come on, you go down to their level. You get to without being without being without losing character, without being out of character, you still let them
yeah.
know that yeah, we are here. We go to the marketplace. Okay, I'll give you an instance. I go to the market, I want to buy something, and I say, good afternoon, madam. How much is this meat? And she says
Okay.
the meat is maybe something that is worth maybe 5,000, and then she says 15,000. Okay, this small meat, you know you just let them know that no, no, that's not it. So it
Yeah,
depends on where
yeah.
you are and what you need to get across. That's the most important thing. And I think understanding your audience, understanding your customer is the first win for any business conversion, I would say.
Wow, awesome, awesome. So as we're talking, I was just picking some minor things that you might not as explicitly mentioned. I see that your upbringing is, should I say, has a great effect on the way you carry yourself and the way you handle situations. Is that true? Then if that is true, then I want you to speak to those that have a wrong upbringing and they also want to fit into the community, they want to carry themselves in a way, but their background is already reflecting, is louder than their composure. How can they now bring themselves together to communicate in this manner?
I think everything is about learning. And I always say something. I'm sure some people that knew me many years ago would hear me and wonder, okay, why is she's a bit different. Um, I would always say that what you do now, how you do what you do was learned in one way or the other. And
Yeah,
we
true.
always can unlearn and relearn, so it doesn't matter where you're from or how you grew up and all of that. You can always learn new things. You can always learn a new way of doing things. I was also opportune to have gone to um, have relationships that has also helped me and has also made it necessary for me to upskill and get better. And more importantly, where I found myself. So the industry I found myself is an industry that requires you to constantly upskill and upgrade yourself.
Yeah,
And as a result of that, you you will find yourself in a different place and behaving and doing things differently. And I would always say that there is always room for everybody to look for that deficiency that you have
mm,
and see what you can
true.
do about it. The internet is everywhere. It's ubiquitous. It is almost at no cost to all of us. It's
Yeah,
something that we can make a conscious choice about to say, okay, this interface that I have, this access that I have, I'm going to use it to improve myself in one way or the other. And
yeah,
before you know it, you would begin to see results. It's as simple as that. So
yeah.
that's my belief,
So
and I think that has helped me
I
to be very
believe that that is very true. However, there is somebody that would be watching this video and will still have issues with the fact that I believe everything is mindset.
yes.
You are speaking from your world of mindset. But before I get to that, I want to touch your fintech career for a while. How did you? I'm trying to remember what you studied in school, and I want to
Hmm.
connect it with fintech. If is the same line, or how do you enter that space?
Okay, so my there's a story behind it. It's actually very interesting. So when I started my journey, I told you that I did economics and I was hoping to, get into CBN because it was the thing that time. And then when you're an economist, I think when I did economics, it became obvious that it was a course that is good, that could get you into any institution, whether a bank,
Yeah,
because
sure,
at some point
sure.
it just happens that macroeconomics and microeconomics um, concerns every type of business. So long as there's demand and supply, you have to always think about those elements. And then it became apparent that if you do economics, you can walk in anywhere, you can walk into any organization and you'll be hired. And I think there was quite an influx into that space during my time. And so that was it. So my journey started this way. I did my NYSC and then I got a stint at an oil and gas company. And yeah, so usually they will not retain you. Most of them won't retain you, but if you
Mm,
put in the work and a lot of effort, you might get retained. So for me, I got retained for was a contract, and then I did the contract. After the contract period, I had a gap period between my contract job and my actual first job. So what
okay,
happened was in that time period, my mother sells in the marketplace. She sells menswear, so
yeah,
she's a trader. I don't know. Maybe I should use was or is because she has refused. She's still she's still oscillating between continuing and she
Oh,
should be retired by now. But those women that just don't give up so quickly. So let me say
yeah.
was because I think I'll use was so that she knows where I stand on this. So she
Yeah.
was a trader in the marketplace, and then so when I didn't have a job for that period,
Mm.
I would stay back at home. And then when she's walking past, she will say, "Are you girls going to sit down there?" And then I got the info, I got the memo, and I started following her to her store. And then from there, you would have people, men mostly because you're selling men's wear, they will come around, they will see this young lady sitting in the
I
in the
mean,
shop, and agendas are flying everywhere, plans are going everywhere.
exactly.
And then you go, I don't have enough cash on me. Madam, can your daughter bring this thing to my office so that I can pay her the
Anyway,
balance and everything? And you and I know what will happen afterwards. So
we know.
so then I will go to their offices and then I will get paid. And then in the course of that, someone will ask me, so your mom sells this? I'll say, yes. Do you have this in size 10, size something, size? And that was how it
Mm.
started. And then I started
Wow.
going back to
Wow.
those offices. And then I saw a need.
Mm.
Something that resonates with me strongly is being able to solve problems. I saw a need that these people are not able, and I'm also struggling from that. And it's not the days of online shopping and all of that. And I'll tell you more about that as we go on. So it's
Awesome.
not I saw a need, and then increasingly I decided to go all in. Since I didn't have anything I was doing anyway. Unfortunately, I had a small car that could carry plenty things for me. So I started moving around office from office to office, from office to office, and I started selling. But then I still
Wow.
wanted to have a white collar job. It was yielding a lot of funds for me. I was getting a lot of funds because at that time, because I was rendering some sort of bespoke service, I could charge a little more than you would charge if you were to
Yeah.
buy from the marketplace. So I was earning some good money at that time. But then that wasn't what I wanted. I still wanted to work. So I kept on looking for a job. And I also felt that the opportunities of being able to walk into those offices will grant me access to be able to get jobs. And that was the
Exactly.
thinking.
Yeah.
I was not even thinking about the business I was doing. I just felt the business was an entry point for me into this organization.
Wow.
Long
Wow.
story
Wow.
long story short, I got a job. I remember very well that one of the people that I used to sell to was so upset with me that we want to get out of this rat race and you are going into it. I didn't understand what he meant then. And I just said, well, I got a job and I have to go. And then I
Wow.
left. But then the demands were coming. They kept on coming. They kept on calling me. Ah, Bimbo, you have to bring a shirt. Oh, I need this shirt for a party tomorrow.
Oh.
Bimbo, you have to
Oh.
bring this shoe.
Oh.
I need these shoes for this. I'm like, okay, so but I'm at work and I just got this job. I don't want to lose it.
Exactly.
So I thought about it, and because I'd always wanted, I'm always after solving problems. I decided, okay, I'm going to look for something, and I went online. I found out I could build a website. I could do this, and I
Mm.
can put all of these things on the website. Interestingly, this is something that breaks my heart when I talk about it, but it is what it is. And then
Wow.
I set up a website, and then we started
Okay.
so I started uploading things and all of that. And then when they call me, I say, go to my website. Should you have internet in your office? They say, yes. Go to my website, pick whatever you want and let me know. So that was the way I started. And then they picked
Okay.
things, and then I'll have somewhere I say, okay, maybe weekend I can deliver. I was doing
Yeah.
all of that somehow combined with my job, and I was doing it well. But there was a challenge. When I was selling to them and walking into the offices, I could get my money easily. At least they see me
Yeah.
every time they see me, they know that they are owing me because the model was you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you, but I lost your video.
Yeah, I'll try to. I don't know what to do here. Okay, let me sign in again. Is that okay?
Okay. I thought you pressed something that took your video away.
Yeah, there was an incoming call and I rejected it. Maybe I should have just left it.
Oh,
Okay, let's do this.
okay.
Let me come back in.
Okay. Um, I know you've joined, but I can't see you. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Please confirm you can hear me. Can't hear you. I can't see your video. Okay.
Wow, that was a long one.
Sorry about
I
that.
guess I'll just leave all
So,
calls that come in. I will not touch. I won't touch just to be safe.
so we were talking about how you started using
Yeah,
the website to sell, but it was
yeah.
hard
So I started
getting the payment.
exactly. So the payment was the problem, and and then again I had to go and look for a solution. So I started going online, checking, looking for um options. How can I get paid and all of that? And I found out about payment companies. As at
Okay.
that time, I found out about three of them, the one I currently work in, and two others. So I went to the first one and I was making inquiries. And then because I was still working, I just used my lunch time, basically. I ran into the place quickly to get the quick information. I sent an email earlier. I think I didn't get the response as quickly as I wanted. So I ran into the place quickly to get an information, but they weren't coming through as quickly as I wanted them to, and I had to leave.
Mm,
and then I left. So I said, okay, maybe they were not fast enough or something. I just said, okay, let me check the other guys. And then I checked the one I currently am in. And long story short, I'm here. And it's been
Wow.
quite a long time. It's been almost 2 decades that I've been working in this organization.
Wow.
And incidentally, the job I got before I got here was a financial technology company, but it was more of advisory than pure play fintech services. So we were doing we built a platform for customers, type customers were asset managers, pension fund administrators, insurance companies, mortgage companies, investment banks, and all of that. So they access this platform to for their decision making purposes, and that was what I was doing. So it was a bit related to what I do now, but in a different way. So conversations held, and I found myself working in a fintech
Wow. So,
that is pure
so
play.
there's a lot going on in my mind right now. And you see, from the story you told, it seemed like you had opportunities and you took advantage of them. Now,
Definitely.
somebody will come across this video that has not been so opportune like you have. Or let me ask this, how do you, you spoke about doing the work. What do you mean by doing the work? And how do you see or take advantage of opportunities?
Okay. Doing the work is understanding the objective that is set before you and
Okay.
following through a clear process to achieve them. That's doing the work. If you have to wake up, if you know that you have to get to the office by 7 o'clock, the work you need to do is to, you now know the objective is to know that you need to get ready the day before, get your things in place. You need to know what transportation type you need to take, what it will cost you, how long the journey will take, and what you need to put together to be able to get to the office on time. That is a typical example of getting the work done. The work to be done here is to get to the office by 7. So, but generally, for you to be able to take advantage of opportunities, and I think opportunities are bound, is the mindset that is
Mm,
critical
mm,
to
mm.
achieving the necessary feat that one puts or one has ahead of one. It's open-mindedness and innovative thinking. I think that's one thing that I'm
Open
very
mindedness and
and
innovative
innovative
thinking.
thinking, strategic thinking. So let me give you an instance.
Okay.
So you find yourself in situations and then you have to open your mind. The moment you say, okay, let me give you an instance of having to go to offices to
Okay.
sell.
Yeah.
If you don't have an open mind, you and I know what I just talked about, that you know the intentions of the people that have asked you to come to their office.
Yeah.
It could
Yeah.
put you off. That's one. Secondly, you could think, okay, so I have become an errand girl now, a whole graduate. So I'm packing load for
Wow.
one. Yes,
Wow.
I'm now carrying bought goods for a graduate like myself.
Mm,
Sometimes these people are like age mates, they just started work. If all things were equal, we were supposed to be counterparts in the same organization. And here is this
yeah.
person saying that, Mama, see, the money I have on me is not enough because he has like a different agenda. The money I have on me is not enough. Maybe your daughter can just help me bring it. My office is just down the road. Let her bring it to my office so that you know that I'm not going to
Mm,
run away with your goods. Let her bring it down the road. I would, just balance her and I can take my stuff. So there are two thinking opportunities options that
mm.
present itself here. You can decide to say, so I have become an errand girl. So this guy that we
True.
were in school together, I'm now going to be carrying his goods for him because I don't have a job, Abby. Because I'm here, Abby. If I was in my own office, would he be telling my mom that I should carry this bag and come to his office? That's one. And that is so easy now because you have bought something for my mom. You want to get me into your office so that you can say all the
True.
rubbish you want to say.
Yeah.
That's a form of thinking. Another form of thinking is, okay, perhaps, maybe if I carry this thing to his office now, I can drop my CV.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Exactly. And then you get to that point, and then you are carrying your CV. Like I told you, I was still actively looking for the job. I was dropping my CVs. I was doing that. And
Wow,
I was,
wow,
you
wow.
know, I was becoming friends to this that guy. Alpha, help me now. Let me come and join you
Not
people.
minding
Make it
their agenda.
not minding the agenda because you have a goal set for yourself. And that is what is important in life. You must have where you are going to. You must have a goal. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. What I found out is that all the videos you see online and all of those things, people that have goals that they are chasing in life, I think most of them live very long because there's a reason for
Mm,
you to wake up the next day. There's a reason for you to
true,
be healthy. There's a reason for
true.
you to push through. There's a reason, there's just one reason, there's a goal ahead of you that is driving you, that will not allow you to degenerate as a person. So if you have a goal, your focus is different. When someone is talking ABC, you are saying something else altogether because you know where you're going to. So I was busy dropping my CVs while I was doing all of those things because regardless of what they may say, me, I sure want to get a job, my own. And then in the course of doing that strategic thinking, I was like, okay, that's also strategy. I will deliver, I'll drop my CV, and then there are more people that want this product. So when I'm showing him his shirt, I'm not showing him his shirt secretly anymore. I'm showing it openly so that the next guy to him like, this shirt is
Can
fine. Oh.
yeah, true.
Do you have size 12, size 46, size 50 something? And I'm like, yes. What color? I have it in blue. Sales have started.
All right, let me come in
So
here,
it depends. Yeah,
if you
please.
allow me. Two
Go ahead,
things
please.
here. I see that, the way you are talking, I can see the mindset behind it. Before you could see the situation as you are saying it, there has to be a back end mindset that is sponsoring the way you see situations. Are there mindsets you uphold that helps you to, help you to see things differently? Are there
I believe
mindsets you
so.
uphold that are very conscious of?
I believe so. So one of the things I believe is that I do not believe that as much as I can try, as much as I try, anything is impossible. And I
Wow.
also believe that you have the right to become whoever you want to be.
No
And
matter what you want
becoming
to
is
be.
a choice. Yeah, it's a choice. And whether you choose or not, you will become something.
Okay, okay.
So you have to be conscious about it. You have to make up your mind about it. And then apart from that, I needed to survive. Well, think about it now. You have gone to school, you have done everything that they need you to do. You are just sitting around. No, no. You got to fix it.
Some ladies don't
So,
see it this way.
well, I think it's the value system. It's the the exposure that you have and the
Yeah.
understanding of the exposure that you have and the modeling that you have ahead of you. So I would say something that's quite not something that I'm so happy to talk about. While I was in when I finished my secondary school, just as I was planning to
Okay.
get into university, was
Yeah.
when my father passed. And
Wow.
before he passed, it was not an easy thing. So at the time when he passed, there wasn't so much left. So before he did that, it was a good life. Yeah,
Mm,
we're living okay, everything was fine, we're good, and everything looked promising until the whole thing started. And that's how life is. You can never tell how things will take a turn. You just need to be
exactly.
resilient. You just have to be resilient. And then when that happened, I told myself that, so what is going to happen next? And
Mm,
I was the only my older siblings were in school, and my younger sister was in a secondary school in boarding house. I was the only one with my mom at that time, and I kept asking her, "Mommy, hey, she mama lost school by?" I asked, "Mom,
mm,
will I go to the uni like this?" She said, when I'm working." When it's not
Oh
as if I
wow.
don't have,
Wow.
yeah, he said when it's not as if I don't have what I'm doing, you will go. Wadarasi. As in you will go and you will go extra. Anywhere how far you want to go, you will go. And
That
that
was
was
the
the
exact
conversation.
response your mom gave you as at then.
Yes, yes. She said that as long as she lives, I will go. And I looked around and I didn't see any. I'm like, after all, I will still go. She said, just do your part and let me do my part. Don't worry about that. And
Wow.
then here we are today. But the thing that was fundamental was that she believed in herself. She believed in the work of her hand, that she has a job, she would walk the walk and get this. And it wasn't just myself. My brothers were in school and I had to join, and my younger sister was still in school. So it was a case of don't worry, we'll just do this work. And I watched her walk. She
Wow.
walked. And there was something that was also very, very, very very, very profound for me. When so before my dad died, I was already questioning if it was possible for me to go to the uni because I was like, after all
Yeah.
this wahala that has happened, there's a lot of pressure on just one single parent and all of that. And I was asking, and kept saying that, don't worry, if it is to go to school, you will go, don't worry. Then my dad passed, my admission came out, and the list came out. I went to school and I didn't see my name on the list. Apparently, my name was on the list. I didn't know. You see the crowd now. So I checked and checked. I didn't see my name. I
Yeah.
just went back home. I'm like, Mommy, I didn't see my name. There's nothing we can do about this. So, you see, I knew it all along. So what did you know? I said I knew this school was not going to work. I said I knew it was not going to work. All this thing, God is giving you a sign. Mommy, don't stress yourself. You are not going
This
anywhere.
serious.
Said
Wow.
she said, and this was funny enough, was like 2 days after my dad died, after he passed.
So
That was when
close.
I went to check. It was very close. That was when I went to school to check and I didn't see anything. And then she said, don't worry, don't worry. And the house was filled with people. You know how it is now when you lose someone and
Yeah.
everything. And then the tradition does not allow the woman to go out until after I think 40
Wow.
days or 41 days. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's the tradition. When you lose your husband, you stay home. You cannot go anywhere until after 41 or 40 days. I can't remember now. I think it's still being practiced just to give last respect and for several other reasons. I don't know.
Mm.
So she wasn't supposed to go anywhere. So next in the evening, she told me, once it's morning, you're going. I said, go where? She said, we will go and check that list again. I said, me?
Wow.
She said, we. I said, but mom, you cannot go
Yeah.
out. She said, no, no. And then the next day, before anybody could even think about it, we were out of the house. When we got to school, the crowd was so much. She said, come. And then she took me to one of the offices. She just said, let's go. And then she kept asking. And then we eventually got to a woman's office. I think it was the faculty officer at that time. And then she got in, she welcomed us. She greeted us and everything. And she said, and the announcement happened. I was so embarrassed. She said, Madam, I came to check my daughter's name on the list. She said, but the list is out. I said she did not see it. And her father died 3 days ago. The woman jumped up because she's Yoruba and she understood the culture of not
Yeah.
going out. And she said, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? She said, we came to, what are you, why did you come? She said, she has to go to school. That's the spirit. She didn't even care about what, she just knew what she wanted. She wanted her daughter to go to school. And then, the list also exists within the offices. She said, okay, she brought out her list. She said, Madam,
Yeah.
please, I have to quickly check this way so that I can go.
Go.
I don't know what it means. I was young. I didn't understand. Maybe there
Yeah.
was something about it. She kept saying that she still has a husband and everything. I didn't understand what that meant. Maybe there was something about it. Maybe at that stage, a woman is not supposed to visit another woman that is married or that still has a husband. I don't know details. But I know that she rushed and she checked the list and she said, this is her name. And my mom said that she doesn't have a father right now. How will she do this registration? And that was it. So that is a modeling that I saw, a model of
Wow.
resilience, a model of hard work, dedication, determination. So where will I learn my own from? So, but some people
Hmm.
are learning their own from the internet, they're learning from different places, and they are making a decision whether they are aware of it or not. That is what it is. And maybe our generation is just different. Maybe, like I always say, maybe we are built differently, and maybe these ones are built differently, and perhaps there's something in it. Just being curious. That I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Maybe that is it.
So I see that your mom set a very high record, a very high standard for you, which you just have to come up to. But I also want you to look back in retrospect. What were the things, aside resilience, that you saw in your mom to give you this go ahead every time? Because the fact that you had the opportunity to be in the right place, connect with the right people, so that led you to getting the right job. Many people do not have that opportunity because even being at the right place or in the right circle of people is something that is a privilege that not everybody have. So, what would you say to people that are not in the right place, in the right circle, they don't have the right mindset? Where should they pick themselves up from?
Hmm. Two things.
Okay.
First off, we all try. There's a saying that says that okay, we all try, and the best of us do not get the best opportunities sometimes. I
Mm.
think everything is not by our efforts most times.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
about the grace of God. So there is a place for prayer. There's a place for seeking the face of God for help. To say, God, I have done one, two, three, four, five. I leave the rest with you. It's very, very important. There's a supreme being, whether we accept it or not, that is above
Mm.
all of us. Our entry points may be different. Some are Muslim, some are this. Our entry points may be different. But there is that being that is above all of us that we need to go to say, okay, like some lady say, I can't remember her name, that if I need to catch the bus by 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning, I will get all my things ready the night before, make sure that there is no reason for me to be late so that I don't miss the bus. Then I will pray very
Okay.
hard also so that I don't miss the bus. So that when eventually I miss the bus, I will know that it's not because I did not pray. And I will know that it's not also because I did not prepare. It was just
Wow.
what it was meant to be. So you have
Wow.
to put those two things in place. You have to work hard, plan, and then you have to pray harder, so that when eventually nothing happens, you will know that you did your part. And I think one thing that a lot of people struggle with is control. You want to
Okay.
always control the outcome. You don't have
Yeah,
control over the
true.
outcome. Nobody has control over the outcome. You have control over the process, but you don't have
Mm.
control over the outcome. So pray, plan, work, and leave everything for God to deliver to you. It's as simple as that. And that's what I think is important. Then the other thing is self-evaluation.
Okay.
Sometimes we are knocking on the wrong doors. I still met someone
Mm.
today that told me that she wanted a job, and I asked her why did she want a job. And just this morning, I went for a run. Usually she will, because of my videos that I post on Instagram, sometimes I'll see her early in the morning when she's leaving. I don't have anybody to do video for me. She's a very nice young lady. I'll ask her to do the video for me. Sometimes she would, every time I ask her, she obliges, but not all the time. I just try not to overstep my bound.
Yeah.
And then She walked up to me today. I was leaving. I was already done when she was leaving. She said, "Ah, that you're quite early today." I said, "Yes, that I'm done." She said, "You're done." She said that she is also quite early today. Do I have a minute? And then she engaged me and she said she wanted a job. And then I started asking her questions. Why do you
Okay.
want this job? But the answers were not coming through. The reason the
Wow.
answers were not coming through is that she had not sat down to evaluate what she wanted. So
Wow.
sometimes the doors we are knocking are the wrong doors. And that's why sometimes self-evaluation and prayer, sometimes when you pray and you meditate, you would be directed differently. And then you realize that,
True.
okay, maybe this is not the industry I should be working in. Maybe because
Mm,
sometimes you just are insistent on what you think is good. So when she
true.
told me, she said she did library. I said, so why did you choose library and something, something? She said, and because she thought that was what was going to, and because everything is going digital, and she felt that that would be the next big thing and all of that. I said, well, it's not a bad thing to do, but how does
Yeah.
that connect to what you want? Then stories, she couldn't respond. So sometimes we are knocking the wrong doors, and it happens to the best of us. It's not as if um, there's somebody that is special or that is exempted from this. It happens to the best of us. Even as we are speaking, I probably am knocking at a door that I'm not supposed to knock at. You understand? But the prayer is that you keep praying, you keep evaluating, you keep checking, you keep aligning your goals every time. Is this what I want? Is this what I want? Is this where am I going to? Where is this going to lead me? Is it aligning with my goals? So sometimes then you don't see results.
Mm,
So it looks as if you don't have the opportunities stacked up before you, or that all odds are against you.
exactly.
I think
Exactly.
I think when we pray, when we plan, and when we process what we are doing, it gives us more insights into what we should be doing. That's the truth. And then the journey of everyone's life is not the same. It's not. So you begin a journey, and perhaps the reason. So for me, for instance, look at it. For instance, I did everything. I worked. I almost died. Who doesn't want to work in an oil company? No, tell me.
I
Who
tell you.
doesn't?
Everybody wants to.
Oil money.
I tell you. Wow.
So I did everything, but then I had to leave. I worked hard. I worked extra. I did. If in fact the things that I just so I just get the job. Sometimes they will send you on errands that you're not supposed to go, but because you know, okay, this is oil company, let me just behave myself and do this thing. They ask you to, they will hardly ask you to stay late, but maybe as a copper, when they do, you pack food, you pack the, you know, the things that
People don't
the
know.
packing
People
food that
don't
you
know
do.
this part of it.
Ah, no, people know. Forget it. Oh. They send coppers to some organizations. Send coppers to go and buy food. Oh.
Wow.
Graduates to go and buy rice inside bowl. They send them. So forget it. You know, at the end,
Okay,
so
so
and you see, at the end of the day, you
I
do
want
all
to
these
come in
things and
here.
you don't get the job. Okay, please.
Yes. So what do you look for in people that makes you draw them closer? Look at this lady who just painted a picture. She is
Mm,
looking at you as somebody. We've all been in that situation before. We are looking at
mm-hmm.
someone that you know that this person has what it takes to help me. But you are calculating, okay, how can I get into this person's space? How can I get close to this person? But you can only do what you know best to do. But from your own end, what do you look at in people before bringing them closer?
Well, it's not all the time that you see something because you don't
Mm,
sometimes have the opportunity to interface with the person. This young lady, for an instance, is just someone that helps me to do videos or two pictures. That's so much I know about her. But she's female, she's
yeah,
young,
yeah.
and if she had not approached me, it would have been business as usual. Maybe I'll see her, hi, good afternoon, ma, good morning, ma, and that's it. And then that'll be it. I think I like the fact that she approached me.
Okay.
I like the courage, even though the relationship was not that so strong to the extent that she could have approached me. I think I appreciated the fact that she approached me. Another thing that I consider is when I see, especially females, young women, ladies, and I think I have an opportunity to help.
Mm.
Maybe not necessarily give gifts or give jobs or anything, but maybe just to rewire their thinking so that they
Yeah.
can approach the world a different way, in a different way. I tell you, the conversation I had with her this morning was not up to 5 minutes. She sent me a long text message that she had never realized that she was not, she never even thought about things I asked her today.
Wow.
She said so. Because she told me, I asked her a few questions. She told me a few things that she did. And I told her, why did she do this? Why did she do that? And all of that. Some of us didn't get those opportunities. We were just
Mm.
walking and running headless into every space we find ourselves. I didn't. I was just walking, walking. But something helped me.
Okay.
I started reading. I think I picked up reading from before I started work, before long time because I have a brother. My mom is an avid reader. Although she reads magazines, she reads novels. She doesn't read business books and all the other types of books, but she's an avid. She's always consuming the news. She loves the news. She will read it here. She still does till today. She will read it here. She will call me.
Wow.
Did you see? I was saying, Mommy, I saw. You know, she's
At this
she's
age.
active. She's yeah, she's very active with, especially when it comes to getting news. I call it hot gist sometimes. I think it's gist that she likes more than news. But she does like everything. She's a follower of she's a lover of history. So she reads. And that was given birth as a result of the fact that when she was growing up, she had a community of mothers that could not read. So
Mm.
she was one that would sit in the middle of the whole of them and she read the
Wow.
news to them. So
Wow.
I didn't pick that up from my mom because I didn't even notice. I didn't notice that I just noticed that she likes to read newspapers. Vendors will come to our shop and deliver different newspapers, these magazines, and all of those things. She brings them home. Weekends, she sits with them. She'll read from morning till night. She'll read everything.
At
She will
this.
update her OS, like I always tell her. And then my brother picked that from her in a different way. And then I picked it from my elder brother. So reading helps, but the type of books you read also matters. So sometimes you are
Yeah.
reading the wrong books. Like I'm telling you that you knock the wrong doors. You're busy
Yeah.
reading things
True.
that are entertaining you instead of reading things that are growing you. So those things happen as well. So that's like still saying knocking on the wrong doors. It's still another form of doing that. But basically, that is one thing that helped me. So I felt that um, if I see people that I think I may be able to guide, even if it is just a 5 minutes conversation, I'll do that. But then for people that I know, so those are for people that I don't know, that I think I
Yeah.
can help in one way or the other. And that may explain why I read online also, just so to share. Not everybody that likes to read. So make it convenient for
Yeah.
people to be able to even listen to a book or two in a different format.
True.
So that's how I started. That's just the baseline reason I started that as well. But for people I know, I I like people that are hmm, let me think.
Especially people that want you to be not really mentorship, but they want to just get closer because perhaps they understand that you have a space, you know people, so they want to get into your circle. They can call you, they can ask you questions, they can get opportunity through you and all.
Yeah, I think that will happen once you see that okay, this person has the potential to help you, and you have the boldness to, like the lady that spoke to me this morning. Um, yeah, I think that will happen most often. But people I relate with, I think I like women to do better. Basically, that's the thing. I'm pro woman, a pro woman, not a feminist. I believe that everybody has their role to play in life. I don't believe in feminism, but I believe that a woman should maybe the mantra is a woman should always help a woman because it doesn't come to us
Right.
naturally, like they said. So you want to step out of that box and extend a helping hand. But also, more importantly,
Yeah.
when I notice that someone is hardworking, the person is focused, or the person has potential, but the person doesn't know.
Mm.
So there are people that, yeah, so there are people that have potentials, but they don't know. They just need a little bit of grooming. They need a little bit of help. You see them, you see that they are grappling with it, but they can't quite hold on to it. Those kind of people, and you see a lot of dedication and seriousness, but they might be knocking the wrong door again,
Yeah.
and you can see it, and you can see it. So
Wow.
why not say, Oga, that place that you're going, there's no road there.
True.
You
Yeah.
understand? So those are the kind of people that I'm drawn to, and people of value, people that give value.
Mm.
What I found out a lot about a lot of us, I think, in this part of the world is what is in it for me is more
Yeah.
than what is in
True.
it. What can I give? There's so much of what is in it for me. There was this young lady, guy that, unfortunately, I think I was very tired that day. I went to do something in the market and he helped me to carry some things. So when we got to where we were going to, he did something that was significant. He asked me, he said, Madam,
Okay.
if this is the thing you are doing all the time, maybe I should collect your number. Anytime you want to carry this thing, call me. I'll come and carry it for you. I can be doing this, I can be doing that, I can be doing this. I now looked at him, I said, that what does he do? He said he doesn't have any work, but he's just roaming around in
Exactly.
this market. There's no roaming around in this market. So I gave him something that is when he sees anything, he just picks up any work that he sees, he picks up and everything. And that he wants to make it at least as regular as possible. So he knows that he has a
Mm.
customer in me that will call him to come and do certain things for him. I looked at him and that was quite impressive for me because usually you will see them would beg you for money.
Yeah. True.
That is what you see. They will beg you for money, and that is it. But he wants to be of service. And I told him, I said, you see, it was in Road Market. And I told him, do you know that there are a lot of tailors in this market? He said, yes. I said,
Mm.
anytime you just go and sit, be helping them carry bag, carry this. Maybe you are carrying, carry, and be learning what they are doing. He looked at me and said, I didn't think about it that way. I said, be learning. Very, very soon they'll tell you do button, you will do it. They will tell you come and do this
Mm.
zip, you will fix it. Before you know, they will ask you, can you sew this skirt? They will give you machine. Oh yeah, go to that machine, quickly sew that one for me. Before you know it, you have a job. He said,
Wow. Wow. I know
this,
we've stayed.
that,
Okay.
and then that was it. We have spent. Wow.
I wanted to say that I know
Just
we
check
stayed
that.
a long. I think it's almost 1 hour now. I really appreciate your
Okay.
time. You shared so much
Thank
beyond the
you.
questions I've asked. But I have two more questions that I just wanted to speak
Okay.
to. Number one is, what is one project you still want to execute? Maybe at the later part of your life that is dear to your heart that you just want to execute. That's one. Number two is
Okay.
that I want to confirm if you believe that no matter where anyone is, financially, status, the person still need help in one way or the other. If that is true to you also, I want to ask, where do you need help? Which aspect can somebody fit in to help you and you feel, oh, this person is solving a problem in my life? Those are the two last questions.
Okay. Um, I think I'll do great as a teacher, even though maybe a coach or something. I don't know. I don't know really. I just feel that I'll do well, even though when I say this, people just wink at their noses that I'm on the reserved side.
Yeah, it's true.
Me, I'm laughing, but I think so. That's one. So I think I would want to have a PhD.
Wow.
Yeah, so that maybe I like learning and particularly interested in psychology and business, and I think they are strongly interwoven. If you get the psychology right, you get the business right. That is it. And so it's something I'm looking towards, even though I've been thinking about it in different formats. But that's something that I'm interested in, and then hopefully to be able to maybe lecture, maybe lecture, maybe as a result of that, I'll be
Okay.
able to lecture. Then where do I need help? Everybody needs help. Honestly, there's nobody that does not need help. I think that I probably would need. Hmm, honestly, I've not thought about it this way. Hmm, I still need to be mentored as well. I'll still I still need to be mentored. So maybe one more, two more mentors to in a different aspect of life to guide me. So I have one, and not that I don't have. I have one, and I have the others that I'm not directly. I am observing from afar. You understand? So it's not all the mentors you have close contact with. I have some that I'm in or observing from afar, and I have one that I can call, maybe two even, to speak to about certain types part of my life. But it's not everybody you tell every part of your life. There are some people that have
Yeah.
skill sets or they have been able to achieve greatness in certain areas that you're also looking at. I think I'd need
Yeah.
help with that type of mentoring. I'm actively looking. Um, then maybe a virtual assistant to help me with some of the
Oh,
extra work that I have to do. So I still spoke to someone today. I said that at some point everyone should become a global citizen. Being able to have a voice across boundary borders. I can't see you again. So being able to have a voice across borders, influence in your industry, influence in your community, influence
yeah.
yeah, in different spheres of life, and that will require a lot of work.
So,
So a lot of work. So getting an assistant that can pull that together is something that I'll be very interested in, to say that okay, I got a lot of support from family. I really appreciate my
yeah.
family, my husband, my children. They have been very, very supportive. They're my life. They're everything. I don't think I would have gotten to where I am today without them,
Yeah.
you know. So that has been a pillar that has held me together. But as you expand your scope, you need more. And they also have
Yeah.
their own goals in life. The children will have to go to school, get their own things started. Yeah, my husband has his own goals as well. So you don't become that person that takes everything, but you take as much as you can take, and you also get the support system that you need from as many sources as possible. So yeah, we all need support, we all
Wow.
need help. That's something is also that will also be considered pretty soon. So that's it.
Thank you so much for your time. You took your time with so much in-depth explanation. I mean, you told a lot of stories, which I think is the core of what we do on this channel. Thank you so much. I don't want to take it beyond this. I understand I've taken a lot of your time. Perhaps later I will still have to reach out to you because I know there are some aspects that I intentionally did not go to because I know if I open that chapter, you go deeper for me, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I will end it here. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, sir.
I hope to
Thank you
reach
for
out to
having
you
me.
next time.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
for having me. And I think I must say that it's a good job you're doing. When you contacted me and asked me, and then my referee, I think that's what it's called, um, told me, I got thinking, I'm like, wow. And then I asked you, are you going to tell me all the questions? You said no. I'm like, okay. But it has been quite interesting. It has been quite insightful for me. It got me thinking also because I now then started thinking, okay, what am I about? Yes, I know, but sometimes you get carried away by the tide of life, and then such event as this just brings you back to that place to, say, okay, what are the things that makes me think? But I'm happy that we are here. I'm happy we've gotten to the end of it. It's a time well spent. Thank you for having me once again,
Thank you
and
so much.
enjoy
I
the
really
rest of your
appreciate it.
day.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Yeah.